Hello everyone, Manthroll here, and welcome back to a tech review video for different computer parts, of course, or, different computer stuff. But today I'm going to be reviewing the WD Black, which is Western Digital Black 4TB performance desktop hard drive. Now, I did get one of these. However, as you can see, it's in the package. So the reason being is because I had a lot of bad sectors and a lot of bad blocks. So I had to remove it. Because if I didn't remove it, it was going to end up causing more issues down the road. But it's now removed, so a lot of my games are going to be reinstalling and downloading. But not too much of a big deal. I mean, I understand occasionally you will get a bad part. Now, Western Digital products, I've always, had their hard drives, and they always worked fantastically. Matter of fact, the actual only reason I even got this hard drive was because I was updating my SSD drive, because I wanted something with a bit more room for my SSD. This way it's not being affected too much by speeds, because now I know my SSD only has Windows on it to help make it perform, but I wanted to have enough room that it was going to last a long time and it wasn't going to be bothered too much. And the one I got has a bunch of new features, which I'll discuss in another video. But the hard drive I got, it was either a faulty one or there's issues with them. Now, if you are somebody who uses Newegg, you will see there actually is a lot of people who had a very similar issue, and a lot of people who had sound issues with it. Now, I will say, as far as the issues I did have with this thing, there was a lot of sound. It was always performing at a very high end. I can even show you here in comparison and tell you what I experienced with it versus what I'm experiencing now. And that's if I bring this over here, it shows you about the active time, your disk transfer rate, and everything. Now, while this one might not be as fast for disk transfer rate and writing speeds, it still writes and transfers information relatively pretty quickly. So unless you have internet capability that can outrun your hard drive, you really don't need to worry too much. And the one I had, it's more than enough to keep up, but the old hard drive was always running at 100% all the time, except for the occasional time it would actually go below, but it was very rare that was actually happening. Also, I will show you another thing I was having a little bit of issue with, and that was actually heating. As you can see here, I have on Speci, I have different heat measures that I like to actually look at, and if you can also see what I'm using here. But this one right here was where it was at, and it was always running at about mid-40s, which for a hard drive seems a bit high. So that was actually another thing that I did not really care for with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Western Digital and their products, but I'm not sure what they did to this one, or it was either this one or it was just a bad one. I'm not entirely sure which, but it did not perform up to expectations or anything of the sort, and it really was not worth the price tag, as you can see here. However, if it was just a bad bad component, and whenever I send it in, because if you see here, it has an industry-leading 5-year limited warranty, so that means I will be checking into this and trying to get it fixed. Hopefully, they honor everything, and it's all good, and it was just a bad drive. If it was just a bad drive, that's fantastic, because that was a really good drive while it lasted. It's just, it didn't last long. I had it for a month in my computer because I installed it the 8th of December, and here it is. Well, by the time this video comes out, it'll be the 10th of January. So, but yeah, so that was my experience with it. But now it is a desktop performance hard drive. It's designed for gaming and stuff like that. There's a lot of storage on it. Now, the one I had was a 4 terabyte. This type of hard drive can go all the way up to 6 terabytes, which is fantastically high. It has a StabiliTrak and dynamic cache technology, which is supposed to have increased reliability and performance, but as I can honestly tell you, it did absolutely the opposite of that. It crashed very quickly. And my old one, which is the Caviar Blue, which is only 1 terabyte, is outperforming it. So, but it has 125 megabyte cache, 2 times cache up to 128 megabytes, which is very, very fast. It's very good. Like I said, it's one of those hard drives where I wish it would have turned out better than it did, but it just did not turn out. And it has a 7,200 RPMs, and the gigabyte is a SATA 6 gigabytes bits. Sorry, but it was good, but it did not last, which is very unfortunate. Like I said, I am hoping it was just a bad drive, because Western Digital and their products have always been really good, and they always have a lot of high reviews, but this one just really kind of phoned it in. But if you guys want to see it, I will actually show it to you physically, because this is how it was shipped in a box. There was no extra packaging, so that was actually another thing that was kind of disappointing. It does come in a moisture static protection bag, as you can see here. Now it is open, of course, because I did have it in my computer, and sorry, my cat for some reason thinks it's food, and she's going absolutely ballistic on my lap. But here it is, in the flesh. It is actually a very relatively big hard drive. It's very heavy, even compared to my old hard drive. But like I said, it's rather disappointing that it worked out the way it did. And I really hope it was just that this is a bad one, and that's all it really would be. So the one thing I would recommend is, if you are going to be switching out your hard drives, is to make sure you have everything stored in another location. This way, whenever you switch over a hard drive, that you can actually just transfer the data from that external hard drive or something of the sort, and then whenever everything is set up and good to go, you can transfer that data into the new hard drive. This way you don't have to worry about all the potential issues that you might arise if like a hard drive goes bad. So, and this way you're also protected a little bit. You always have somewhere to fall back on, just in case something does go wrong. But that'll actually do it for this video today. I just want to always give my reviews on these things, just in case you are looking into it, and if you're just somebody who's coming by to see these reviews and see what the drives are like, or any of the tech is like, always feel free to stop by, and occasionally I'll have some different tech videos as I upgrade or buy stuff, that kind of thing. So, but as of right now, I will say, if it was just this one time, I'm really hoping it was just a bad hard drive. That kind of stuff happens, but hopefully that's the case, and it all gets squared away. But yep, that'll do it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, later guys.